second round of the 1991 South African National Off-Road Championship, the Castrol Baberspan 500, gets underway in the Western Transvaal at 1 p.m. tomorrow. The Castrol Baberspan 500 is one of the premier events on the motorsport calendar and has this year attracted over 70 entries in each the motorcar and motorcycle categories. The event, celebrating its 15th anniversary, will feature a number of innovations which include stringent safety checks, comprehensive medical and rescue facilities, and a change in format. Clerk of the course, Johan Prinsloo, has the details.
As far as the Baberspan 500 is concerned, the only change this year is we've changed the venue, we're in the starting venue, and the first day will be 19 kilometers in length. The second day, 433 kilometers in length, anti-clockwise to last year's route, except we've added 2 new sections into the route, new sections altogether. And the first day is to determine the starting position of the second day, and it's a race by itself. The road conditions is a bit worse than last year due to the erosion that took place with the rainy season, and we're expecting to have some rain so far, so it could be even worse. As far as the rivers is concerned, there's no water in the rivers. It is dry at this stage. Last year we had the privilege of having IGI's helicopter with us, with a full crew, paramedics, etc., and the doctor. This year, they've made the allowance that we can have that again. Plus, obviously, the sponsors, Castrol, is giving us the helicopter to assist in the case of casualties, where there's casualties of uplifting people. And we've got 2 medical doctors at Baberspan at this point of time, plus 5 paramedics all over the route, plus 5 qualified sisters at each and every point, Marshall Point, plus we have an additional team from Sunny's-Hof.
A combination will obviously be the guys to watch because they're very capable, and they are going to be the major threat in the race with Philip Milan and Robin Yates and Greg Wiebel. You know, the guys to count, and there's a new guy's got Richard Schilling's old car, Niels Eriksson, and I think he's going to give the guys also a surprise. So I think it's going to be quite an interesting race. Depends on the weather as well.
Greg Wiebel is a newcomer to Class 8 and has rolled his race coat twice in the past month.
I hope things don't come in threes and Baberspan's a third. But this vehicle's far different to what I've driven compared. I wouldn't say performance-wise, but suspension-wise. And I seem to throw the car too much and it tends to bite. And I'm not used to the way it bites, and then it just kicks over. It doesn't slide anymore. And I think that's where I'm losing the trouble right now, and that's why the car keeps flipping on me.
Hungrier than anyone else for a win is Klaus Degener, who is rated by many as one of the fastest drivers in off-road racing, but has not enjoyed much success in recent events.
We're trying something new at this race. We were going to try to Twit Fly, but unfortunately they shortened the race, so it didn't work there, and that's changing drivers halfway through. I'm going to do the time trial on Friday. Jake will do Saturday morning section to the refuel, and then I'll take over and do the last bit. And the reasoning behind that is that I feel that it gets 2 drivers behind the wheel, halfway through a fresh driver behind the wheel, and hopefully that way we'll have a clean run.
We're trying something new. We hope it's going to work. We almost sure it will work, but we'll only know after the race. We're confident that it's the right solution.
Harry Rocket Roscoe's Protea Kart Raceco sports an innovative feature.
It's a very simple system. It's inboard jacks. It jacks up the car. You just pump it up here. You got your foot, you pump it up here. The front lifts off before the back does. So you have the front puncture. The front lifts off quicker than the back does. And then you change the wheel. It takes 5 minutes as against 20 minutes.
With 1 race completed, the Special Vehicle Championship is wide open with Carolyn Degner, Wiebel, Fred Levesque, Robin Yates and Bert Greef all in contention. Philip Milan and Richard Leek were plagued by suspension problems on the Grootweg 400. Milan hopes that extensive modifications to the Toyota will see a return to the winner's circle this weekend.
This was due to us making the suspension too heavy for the beginning of the season, thinking that the speed would compensate for the heaviness of the suspension. And in the end, we've now lightened it and made it rather more subtle. And I think this time we're going to have our sums right.
An interesting newcomer to the commercial vehicle ranks is the American-built Class 3 Chev of Theo Coetzee. Coetzee and navigator Ian Wedderburn are third behind Lambert and Purchase, and a consistent performance could see them top the log. Abdul Variawa's excellent performance in the Kruitvlei 400 has provided him with a much-needed confidence booster.
Well, I was hanging there for a long time, always behind Wilfred. I've got a good car, reliable suspension, very good engine, 2.7. And I was hanging in there, and finally, without any difficulty, trouble-free run, I made it this time.
The Production Vehicle Championship sees Variawa and Hussein 6 points ahead of Dave Gurney and Ralph Barnes from Natal. Former off-road champions Wilfried Veslau and Dagmar Blankner are 8 points adrift of the leaders. All in all, the Castrol Baberspan 500 is shaping up to be a tremendous battle for overall and class honours, and highlights of this exciting event will be broadcast on Top Sport on Saturday the 23rd of March.